Hi everyone, Sergeant Mushroom 92 here again. Now today, I've decided to make a video on the 14TP, the Tier 4 Polish light tank. So I'm sure a lot of you will be aware, the Polish tech tree was just released on Wednesday with the 1.1 update. Now I decided to make this video partly because most people tend to focus on the higher tier vehicles, but also partly because the tier 4 is probably the first tank that most people are going to spend a decent amount of battles on, sort of 10, 15 battles, maybe even 20 battles. So it's worth knowing how to play the tank a bit better and maximize your experience gain. So a brief overview of the tank. We can look at its vehicle details. Like most of the Polish tanks, it was never built because Poland was invaded in September 1939. There was a lot of developments and maybe the odd prototype here and there. So there was a prototype made in March 1939, but it was never really made. So with this Top Gun, we're looking at 75 average damage, 62 pen, 15 rounds a minute, decent reload time, 8 degrees of gun depression. Now this is the first sort of tank in the Polish lineup that only has 8 degrees. So the tier 3 was minus 12, tier 2 was minus 12, the tier 1 was minus 8, but that's a tier 1 tank. You play it once and that's it done. So it is a bit of a change to get used to again. Decent aim time, decent dispersion. My lack of crew skills doesn't really help with that. Armor is nothing, is non-existent, as it should be with a light tank. 30mm on the front, 30mm on the front turret, 25 on the front and sides, 27 on the front turret, 25 on the side. So, or sorry, the side turret and 25 on the rear. It's nothing to write home about, but as we'll see in the video that I've got lined up, it can be made effective when you use this gun, or when the enemy uses this gun, more to the point. So this is the stock gun. Do not use the stock gun. Don't use the stock gun. Skip past the stock gun. Free XP your way past the stock gun. I think I've made my point clear. The stock gun is the worst gun you could possibly use on this vehicle. Look at that, 34mm of penetration at tier 4. It is despicable. Do not use the stock gun. With that in mind though, you are going to have about 3,000 free experience spare to be able to not suffer your way through the stock gun. You have to unlock the new turret before you can even think about unlocking the new gun, which are just over 1,000 experience each, 1,100, 1,150. But you also need to unlock the new tracks, which is another 1,000 XP, but that's not a lot free experience. I mean, go play a premium tank for a few games and you'll get that. Once you've got this gun though, use it. And then grind out this gun. This is the gun you're going to want to use. The second gun is not a bad gun, but it's an autoloader. It fires 4 shots in two round bursts, but it's not accurate, as autoloaders at low tier are rarely. The 47, so the autoloader is a 40mm, 6.5 second reload, so not bad at all. 52mm of penetration, so a lot better, but a 50 alpha damage, so you can pump out 200 alpha damage within about a second in this tank, if you chose to. So that's pretty good for the shock factor, but it's only really good at close range. The Top Gun though is where it's at. Obviously, lower, I would say a lower alpha damage per minute, or DPM, but much higher penetration, 10mm more, and much better average damage. And that does feel very good at tier 4, that 75 alpha damage. Better accuracy and aim time as well, so it's just better overall. Some people might prefer to continue using the 40mm auto, but like I say, it's very situational. It's great at close range, but not really anything else. The engine, I mean, you can get that. I'm not going to bother personally. This engine is unique to this tank, so it's just going to slow me down getting to the 25 TP. And in all honesty, I don't really know if it's worth it. The same chance to for fire on impact, and 30 more horsepower, but it's heavier, so it's kind of off-putting. So I mean, personally, I wouldn't bother. It feels fast enough as it is. So with this, like I say, I'd probably say this is the first tank that you should bother to actually put equipment and a half-decent crew on. I took the crew from my 10 TP and then just give them the 75% retrain. And that would, I'd say, is good enough. I wouldn't put gold into this crew unless you really want to take the crew all the way down the line. Don't do it. I wouldn't bother. It's not worth it. And equipment, I mean, I've put on a gun rammer and improved ventilation, but that's because I had them lying around, and I do have a bit of gold to take them off when I'm done. Don't put coated optics on, just put on a binocular telescope. Most vehicles down at these lower tiers don't have that sort of view range to make coated optics work, so binocular telescope is a better choice, and you can remove them for free. Now, I've not played a huge amount of games on this. I've played 6 games so far, but there's a few things that I've learned. Firstly, you need to take advantage of the concealment. This has very decent concealment, 16.61 when stationary. So you want to try and use that to your advantage and camp it up in bushes. At the moment, with the way the matchmaker is, you're going to see a lot of tier 6 games. So your bushes are going to be your friend. But also, don't sit still when you're spotted. The armor, as we know, is weak all round the tank. And let me tell you, I have been one-shot more than a few times in artillery while playing not just this tank, but the other Polish tanks. So do not sit still. You will be just one-shot by artillery. View range with my coated optics is up to 381 meters. Not great, but better than nothing. Obviously, as you can see here, it's not helped by my commander being less than 100%. But like I say, it's not really worth spending the gold on it, unless you're just mad and you have loads of free gold. I wouldn't do it. So anyway, I've lined up a replay just now, which I think shows or highlights the excellent concealment properties and excellent gun handling properties of this vehicle. So I hope you enjoy. So, it would seem that RNGesus has blessed me with top tier matchmaking. So tier 4s, they have a bit of a funny matchmaker. Tier 1, 2, and 3 are +1, -1. But tier 4 is +2, -1. So this tank will never see tier 2 vehicles, which is quite right, I would say, but then it's still quite painful when you go up against tier 6s. So anyway, on this battle, I'm going to be making my way towards the center hill here. More specifically, not the one that's up the hill, but the bit in here, because there's a few bushes here that are quite good to get some concealment behind. Now, as I say, the top gun is the gun that I would recommend. I've used it for a couple battles, and it is just a better gun, I would say, than the middle gun. But like I say, the middle gun is not a bad gun, it's just very situational. But I would not recommend free experiencing your way to this second gun. It's only 1,000 experience, so I mean, do it if you want, it's your experience. But the second gun, the middle gun, is still a good gun, and you can easily grind the experience out for that gun. With very little pain. Stock gun? No, don't do it. Now, if you've been playing the Polish light tanks, the lower tier ones, you'll know that accuracy and aim time, especially if you've been playing well low skill crew like I have, accuracy and aim time is an issue. And this gun is just a breath of fresh air. It's not an amazing gun by any means. There are much better guns out there. But see, after playing those, like the tier 3, the 10 TP, oh my god, this is so much better. So I'm able to just consistently and reliably just pick away the health of these tanks. And I get my first kill on the Marder 30AT. Now you see there, as I've said in previous videos, I made sure that I was kept back behind the bush so that I could not see through it, and that way nobody could see me firing. Now I move forward to get my binoculars up so I can spot. I actually lose sight of the IKV-72 there, but I can still finish him off. I risk getting spotted there, but I feel it was worth it. Now, I can still kind of see through these bushes, so I do run the risk of being spotted, but I'm not going to get spotted by the 10 TP because there's another bush between me and him. So I am able to just slowly pick him off. And that's what I do. Now we spot a T-40 in the typical tank destroyer spot, which is not unexpected. Now I feel that this guy fancies himself as some sort of seal clubber. As you can see, his win rate in WN8 doesn't support that claim, but I mean, why else would you have such a fancy camouflage on a T-40 if you're not a seal clubber, or at least trying to be one? So I am trying to move my way around to flank the back of the enemies here and make my way around, but I can't resist taking shots at a T-40 like that. So we finish him off. This battle's going very quickly, as low tier battles tend to. So I'm moving my way up to flank around the back. Now it turns out, pay special attention to this 10 TP here. He's actually had enough of this game and he's going for a swim. And he swan dives off the cliff edge. Now this is an example of why you do not use the stock gun. This guy's using the stock gun on the 14 TP for some reason. And even the terrible armor on this tank, because I've got it angled, is able to easily bounce almost all his shots. I think he only penetrates that shot there because he finally shoots me in the turret. Now, it's just the Vespa left, so the game's basically over. I'm not going to get any more damage in this game, but there we go. 15-1. Not an entirely unexpected result for these sort of low tier games, especially when a new tech tree comes out. All the higher tier players come out. Yeah, let's look at the results. So overall, very happy with that result. For my 5 kills, I get 1025 experience and my first class mastery badge. So it shows that people are doing quite well in these new Polish tanks. I finished the battle top on damage and experience, 912 hit points with my 5 kills. Now, not a lot of damage for most tanks, but compared to the rest of the team, as you can see, quite a bit. And as you can see, 20 shots fired, 17 hits and 14 penetration, so a much more reliable gun, especially for penetrating and getting shots on target. For my 20,000 credits, I walk away with 19,800 profits, so win-win. So I hope you enjoyed my sort of very brief look at the 14 TP, the tier 4 Polish light tank. If you did, please leave a like, I would really appreciate that. And if you'd like to see more or something like this again in the future, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see. Because I'm really enjoying making these videos just now. Obviously I've put a few out in a short period of time. And if you'd like to obviously be notified when I put new videos up, feel free to subscribe. Other than that, as I stressed, do not use the stock gun on this tank. You're not doing yourself or your team any favors. So yeah, free experience your way past that onto the second gun, but don't free experience the top gun, because the second gun's more than adequate. Overall, I've found the Polish tech tree so far alright. The guns are a bit disappointing, might be the word, but lower tier tanks generally are. I'm quite looking forward to getting into the higher tier vehicles, tier 5 and up. That's when they start to get the slightly bigger guns and better armor. But I'm going to leave the video off here. As always, thank you for watching if you have been, and please subscribe if you enjoyed. But also, I do live stream on Twitch. I will leave a link to that down in the description below. I also have a Twitter where I announce when I'm going live and when I put a new video up. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest sort of information, then give me a follow on there too. And as always, any feedback is greatly appreciated. So if you leave it in the comments, I'll read it and I'll take it into account. But anyway, until next time, have a great day.